Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we will discuss the Reverse Sural Artery Flap, one of the most reliable and commonly used fasciocutaneous flap for reconstruction of defects in the distal leg, ankle, heel and foot. The Reverse Sural Artery Flap is distally based neurocutaneous flap supplied by retrograde blood flow through the septocutaneous perforators arising from the peroneal artery. The flap survives on the septocutaneous perforators from peroneal artery. Coming to the venous drainage is through lesser saphenous vein and venous plexus accompanying the sural nerve. Let's understand the design of the flap, taking example of a wound on the dorsum of left foot measuring 10 cm into 5 cm width, marked by point X and Y. Template of this wound can be made using sterile foil or glove paper. We have to always design the flap slightly larger than the defect. Now coming to the markings of the leg, we will mark midpoint of the popliteal fossa as point A, and we will mark the tendon Achilles with point B and lateral malleolus with point C, and we will draw a line and mark the midpoint with point D, and we will connect point A to point D. This will mark as the neurovascular bundle. This line represents the course of the sural nerve, lesser saphenous vein, and serve as flap axis. Now we mark the pivot point. Pivot point is marked 5 cm from the lateral malleolus. It can also be marked using Doppler probe and locating the perforator, which lies generally between 4 to 7 cm. For more distal the wound, more distal the perforator can be taken, but taking the perforator point or pivot point distally increases the risk of flap necrosis. Now we mark this pivot point as E, and from E we take a gauge piece and measure the distance wound from the pivot point, and accordingly we design the skin paddle. The long axis should coincide with the sural neurovascular axis marked by point A to point D. So now, if we have marked the distance from point E to point X, we will similarly mark from here point E to point X. And here we will draw the template for the skin paddle, measuring the same length as here. So this will be around 10 cm and the width will be around 5 cm. So we have made the markings. Generally, a teardrop or elliptical design is commonly used. We have to make sure the skin paddle lies between the middle one-third portion of the line joining A and D, as going in this proximal one-third, there are increased chances of flap necrosis. From point A, this 5 cm mark is the superior limit, and we can never cross this superior limit while designing the flap. After that, after the skin paddle has been marked, we now come for marking the pedicle. Generally, the width of the pedicle should be 3 to 4 cm. The wide pedicle improves the venous drainage, arterial inflow, and decreases flap congestion. After that, incision is started. Incision is begin proximally and we elevate the flap from proximal to distally. Flap includes deep fascia, sural nerve, lesser saphenous vein within the flap. After the flap dissection, the pedicle is also dissected. We have to make sure that we have to avoid the skeletonizing of the pedicle. After that, the flap is rotated and inset is done. Inset should be done in a tension-free manner. If there are signs of congestion or decreased flow, we can keep the sutures away and later do the suturing. Coming to the donor site, if the donor site is small and can be approximated, it can be closed primarily. If the donor site is large, we have to go for split thickness skin grafting. The reverse sural artery flap remains a workhorse flap for reconstruction of distal leg, ankle and heel defects. Its reliable anatomy, ease of harvest and ability to avoid microsurgery make it an essential technique for every plastic and reconstructive surgeon. If you find this video useful, please like, share and subscribe for more surgical anatomy and reconstructive surgery tutorials.